What's your overview about the government's approach to the COVID-19 pandemic? The Prime Minister is live from Downing Street at 5 p.m. We're expected finally to have freedom on the 19th of July. But do you support what the government have done in the course of the last 16 months?
Well, I was a member of the Welsh Parliament until the 6th of May for the last 5 years, and I voted against all the coronavirus regulations that were introduced in Wales following what the British government did in England. And I think that the whole COVID crisis has been blown out of all proportion. The way that it's been dealt with has been a sledgehammer, largely to miss a nut. To begin with, we emptied our hospitals into nursing homes, which was an utterly catastrophic decision and maximised the number of deaths from COVID. But again, talking about the statistics, we don't actually know how many people have died of COVID.
Correct.
Because are still registered as dying from COVID if you've been diagnosed in the last 28 days as having got the virus. So I think what has happened here is that all sense of proportion has gone out of the window, and massive costs have been imposed upon the population, not just financial ones either. We know that the cost in mental health and in other diseases and conditions have got undiagnosed and untreated, has got to be weighed in the balance against the good results that have flowed from attempting to contain the virus. But what we do know is that ultimately all you do is postpone the day when people get the virus or a variant of it until people have been vaccinated, although there are a lot of people who are a bit wary about being vaccinated. I'm not actually one of those, but and I think people should be free to decide for themselves and not hectored and lectured, browbeaten into doing something that they don't feel is safe for them for whatever reason. But I think the government overall has imposed a vast cost unnecessarily upon us in so many different ways. And yes, the vaccination program has been a success at the end of the day. And I fully understand the pressures on politicians at the beginning of this pandemic when we didn't really know that much about the disease. And inevitably, safety first is urged upon politicians. But when they say they're following the science, they haven't actually followed the science at all. What they've followed is the political prescriptions of scientists. And scientists in this respect have no more validity than anybody else's opinion as to what's the best way to deal with it. They weren't putting into the balance the other costs of the regulations they wanted us to introduce. So I do hope this time, now that we've got Sajid Javid, who wants to plough a different furrow from his predecessor for very obvious reasons, is in place, that we will finally see the restoration of our freedoms.
Sledgehammer to miss a nut, I think, will be the line of the day, Neil. Brilliant to have you on the programme. Neil Hamilton, UKIP leader, not happy about the government's approach to immigration or indeed coronavirus.